Sports Limelight, episode 30. Good evening, Drew.
Good evening, Bill. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you, sir?
Wonderful.
Well, we want to start off with some sad news. Former Giants receiver Stacy Robinson died yesterday at age 50 after a battle with cancer. He retired in 1990, worked for the NFL Players Association, last serving as Director of Player Development, in which he worked on developing programs that aided players in their preparation for careers post-football. So a good cause there. He had 3 receptions for 62 yards in Super Bowl 21 in their victory over the Broncos. And 1986 was his best season, 29 receptions, 494 yards, 2 touchdowns. And once a Giant, always a Giant. So Stacy Robinson, rest in peace. And Drew, you know him from the Tecmo Super Bowl roster as well.
Yes. Sad to see a Tecmo great pass away.
I think I read somewhere that was the first player from the 1986 Giants to pass away. How many players does that make from Tecmo Super Bowl?
Ooh, I don't know. It's been quite a few.
Reggie
these
White,
past few
Jerome
years.
Brown.
Yeah, probably half a dozen or so. Even Junior Seau.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, that's kind of shocking to see.
Sad story. He obviously had some major problems going on, and he, like Dave Duerson a couple years ago, committed suicide in a way that preserved his brain. So you wonder if he wanted his brain to be studied like Duerson did. And there might be a battle going on now with the Seau family and multiple organizations who want to study his brain and see if it had lasting effects from concussions or just, whatever adverse effects from repeated pounding that professional football can bring.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, how the brain, has been damaged here by the NFL.
Yeah, the NFL's already in hot water with the lawsuits going on and this on top of it and bounties and just today, the Cris Carter news, Drew.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. I was watching it downstairs when I was taking my break at work today, and I guess he has admitted to putting bounties on personal players during his career. He specifically mentioned Bill Romanowski and how one game, I guess, Bill threatened to ruin Cris Carter's career. So then he took it upon himself to, give some incentives to his offensive linemen to kind of guard him or kind of take him out.
All kinds of wacky lawlessness going on in the NFL, past and present.
Good old pro sports. Gotta love it.
Yeah, well, maybe this will bring more attention to shine light on a culture that sort of needs to go. Along with that, not nearly as serious health-wise, but baseball with the beaning as well. If you throw a baseball at someone as hard as you can in any other form of life, you would be arrested for assault. And in baseball, it's just, that's just part of the game, like old school. They police themselves. These kinds of things in sports, I wish they would kind of reassess and not just go by tradition sometimes.
I think the Major League Baseball did the right thing by suspending him 5 games.
Absolutely, yeah. Cole Hamels for throwing at Bryce Harper this week.
Although some say that 5 games isn't enough for a pitcher because he only misses 1 rotation.
It's an extra day off for a starting pitcher, really.
It's like a parent telling his kid to go to his room, and his room has like the Xbox and everything. So it's like, oh, sure, I will.
Yeah. Or you're grounded for 8 hours, and that's the 8 hours you would be sleeping.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
We threw double analogies at you here on Sports Limelight.
Double entendre, baby.
Now, speaking of baseball, Mariano Rivera torn ACL last Friday. Really hit me hard as a Yankees fan. He said almost immediately that he's not going out like that. He wants to come back, and I don't doubt that he can do it. I do wonder, can he be the same after a catastrophic injury like that for someone of any age, even the great Mariano Rivera? And my friend Mike Kenny had a great tweet this week saying that for 17 years I promised I wasn't taking you for granted. Turns out I was the whole time, praying for your speedy recovery. Mike, a great blogger as well. So check that out, mikekenny.blogspot.com.
You're welcome, Mike. Hopefully the check's in the mail.
So Rivera will miss the rest of the season, obviously. For my money, not just the greatest closer, not just the greatest relief pitcher, not just the greatest pitcher of all time, but I would call him the greatest baseball player of all time. He's that.
Really?
Yes, sir. That much more dominant than the second best player at his position. If the NFL top 100 list can have Jerry Rice number 1, the problem I had with that was how important is a receiver compared to the other positions. It's kind of like that with the closer in baseball. Yeah, maybe he's not as valuable as the best position player ever that played every day, but man, if you want to call the second best closer ever Trevor Hoffman, maybe Lee Smith, Goose Gossage, whoever, not even close. Rivera blew them all away.
Wow, that is quite the statement there, Bill. Maybe we should have this best baseball player debate for another episode.
Let's do that on another episode. Great idea, Drew.
Thanks. I have a few ideas here and there. Hopefully mine aren't eclipsed by yours.
Hey, thank you for providing me with a wonderful segue there. May 20th, the western U.S. getting its first major solar eclipse since 1994, one that you and I both remember vividly.
Yeah, I was 11 at the time, and it happened during school. So I remember how cool it was that the teachers and students would go outside and look at it through special cardboard or whatever, and it was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, what a neat experience, and it was the first one I had ever seen. Apparently the next one isn't coming until 2023, so if you miss this one, it's going to be a while, and sorry to the eastern U.S. who will miss out on this one. It's going to be around 6:30 or 7 p.m., so hopefully it's still light out enough that you get a strong enough contrast as we got last time, which was, as you said, when we were in school hours.
Oh, wow, so it'll be kind of close to the horizon, which usually means a bigger-looking moon.
Oh, that's good. We'll take that.
I heard after the 2023 solar eclipse, I heard the next one after that is 2112.
That'd be awesome. And once again, a great segue for our latest Rush update. We have our tickets, Drew, section 213.
Oh, man, Bill, you are amazing for picking those up.
Oh, thank you. And if you're there, come say hello to your Sports Limelight hosts.
That's right. We'll be the one slapping the bass.
Along with so many others. November 25th, as we said last week, Rush coming back to Phoenix after only a year and a half. We'll get into this more as the time approaches, believe me, but what do you expect from the set list, Drew?
Well, I expect a lot more new stuff. I know they have that CD coming out next month.
Clockwork Angels, yes. June 10th, I believe.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, at least half the songs are going to be, or at least half the CD will probably be featured in that concert. And, I'm curious to see how much of Moving Pictures they play, since they played the whole album last year.
Yeah, I would venture a guess that's about the same. Clockwork Angels should be pretty similar to Time Machine, as I mentioned, only a year and a half apart. Obviously less time between these tours, but they played Moving Pictures in its entirety last time. I'm sure they won't be doing that again, so they'll probably replace 5 or 6 of those 8 songs with 5 or 6 from the new album. And I also look forward to what unexpected song they'll dig out of their vault. Last time it was Presto, which they had never played on tour before, and the tour before that, Snakes and Arrows, Entre Nous, was the pleasant surprise, so I would love to see one that kind of comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, I agree. I'm sure they'll have something for us, crowd, to keep us pleased.
They always do, every time they bring it. Our tickets turned out to be a little over $60 with including bogus Ticketmaster fees, which are pretty much like $15 per ticket, so we bought 4 tickets. Our friend Jeremy and my fiancé Sam are going with us. That's $60 just in Ticketmaster fees.
Dang, that's another Rush ticket.
Yeah, I know they have to make their money as a business, but wow. And there's no way to avoid it. I tried to kind of go the long way, calling directly to the box office for the arena, but still, you got to go through Ticketmaster. They got to get their cut.
So are they playing in the same venue as last year?
Yes, they are. The basketball arena, home of 0 basketball championships, known as U.S. Airways Arena. You provided me with 2 excellent segues to get to the next topics. I have no such ability today, so I'll just ask you. I understand, Drew, you told me before the show that you discovered a new sport that you've been playing as well.
Yeah, I've heard of this sport, but I've never actually played it or seen it played. It's called disc golf or frisbee golf.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's really fun. For us aging athletes, it's a good way to stay in shape or be active without risk of injury.
That is a great way to kind of transition to the next stage of our lives, being approaching 30 and surpassing 30, most of the guys in our group.
Yeah, and they actually have a course at Buffalo Ridge Park where we usually play basketball, so hopefully we can get the guys to follow suit and maybe throw some discs around.
All right, Sports Limelight episode 30. Next week, Drew, our friend Jason will be back on with us. He's a big Josh Hamilton fan, and that'll fit right in with revisiting your pre-MLB opening day Sports Limelight Extra on wanting to see individual greatness. Yeah,
I just saw him hit 4 home runs, so it should be a cool episode.
Amazing. Yeah, he and Matt Kemp, what starts for them?
Wow.
And also,
I'm excited.
Me too. And we'll also have another Rush update because Jason, a budding Rush fan, I told him to get his hands on moving pictures. So hopefully he does that and gets to listen to it enough to be prepared to come on next week. So until then, thank you for taking your important, valuable, hard-earned time, as always, to listen to us. Have a great week.